Hello there, good morning to you. Thank you so much for staying here on the AM show. I'm Bernice Abube-Dulansa. Well, today you've heard conversations had on narcotics, and we had that conversation with Sam George, MP for Ningo Prampram. It's now time to talk health, and today we're talking about sickle cell. And I am so excited because I've been joined by Charlotte Owusu. She's the founder and CEO for Sickle Cell Condition Advocates. And I would love for her to be sharing her story with us. And we've also got Kweku Kwati-Nyeboah, who is a sickle cell patient. And quite recently, there has been enough reason for us to encourage people, especially persons hoping to marry and have children, to check their sickling status. And today, you would understand why it's important. Good morning to you, ma'am. Good morning to you, Kweku. How are you?
Thank you.
Great to have you here. So let me start with you. What inspired the founding of your organization?
I had my only two children with sickle cell condition. When I had the first one, I didn't know until I was pregnant with the second one, and the first one was getting sick almost every week. We were going to Kolebu, in and out of Kolebu. And so the people checked and they saw she had sickle cell. She was a female. And when I had the second one, as Kweku, he also had sickle cell. So I started as a teacher. I thought I should teach people. So when I even go to the clinic, I would tell them, I will have to know to be able to teach. So those who had children who were grown, I would ask them what we were doing, what we should do, doctors, nurses, everybody I met. I wanted to know more about sickle cell. And even traveled outside during summertime. Almost every summer I was in UK, sickle cell, and got affiliated to Sickle Cell Society of UK. So I got a lot of information. So when I came back home, and there was a time I was asked to make a presentation on sickle cell, a mother's view. Kolebu chose me that I should go and give that presentation. It was the first sickle cell conference in Ghana, international conference. So all people came from all over the world to listen to us. And I was chosen to give this presentation. And just 2 weeks before I went into, I'd give it the topic, and I started 2 months earlier. And I was preparing, and when in 2 weeks' time, when I was to go and the conference was to come on, that was in 1995. I lost my first daughter.
Oh no!
Just 2 weeks before the time,
no.
and they thought I couldn't do it. I said, I will do it. I have to tell the people it's a serious thing. We should look at it.
I am so sorry, because I was just going to ask where she is, because Kweku is here with us. I am so sorry.
No,
what exactly happened? Was it a crisis?
It's a normal crisis. You know, they have so many crises, pneumonia, infection, so many things come to them. We'll discuss. We can talk about that. She had pneumonia, and I went in. That time we were living in Tema. I'm always ready for them. At any time they say, I have this ache, I have this headache, I will rush them to Kolebu. I had a small car I was using, so I was quickly rush them to Kolebu. So I went the first day, they didn't see anything. They were saying, as if it's temperature and pain and that kind of thing, a normal crisis. They didn't admit her. The second day, I said, no, it's still worrying her. And they gave us some more drugs, and then we had to go back home. No drips. I remember very well. They didn't give us drips, anything. And I went the third day, evening, about 4. She was not feeling fine. And I said, no, I can't sleep with this girl this night. So let me take her. At that time, it was 4 p.m. I took her to Kolebu. And, you know, the clinic is not open at 4. They close at 2:30, 3. So I went to the doctor's house.
Wow.
Yes, I walked.
You really fought for
Yes,
her.
I drove to the doctor. I knew, you know, I had developed a relationship with him. So I went to the house of the doctor. I tried to see he saw he couldn't do anything about it. So together we all we took her to the hospital, emergency in Kolebu. She was admitted. And we were there, you know, I had to sleep there. The doctor even brought me a blanket to be able to sleep on a bench in front of the emergency. So the night I couldn't sleep, but you know, sleep by all means.
It will come.
At a certain time to come. I went off maybe around 1, 2. By 4:30, 5, they called me. At about 5, I heard the nurse call me. Where is Akosia's mother? Akosia's mother, please. And then I didn't know what they were going to tell. Akosia says she wants water. I say, oh, my daughter is alive. I quickly took water for her. And then then I realized she had been put on oxygen the whole night. Oh. So in the morning, they had taken the oxygen off her, and they asked that you can't be in the emergency all the time. So we had to go to the ward. I was with her for some time, about 9, 10. They said, no, you can't be here. You have to go and come back by 4.
To take her home?
Not by 4 to know what is happening, admission and treatment or whatever. So I left her. She told me, Mom, go and come. And I said, oh, I have to wash you down. I said, no, you go and come and wash me down. I want to rest a little. And I went, a friend took me to her place. And then when it was about 4:30, we were driving to the place. I always say that my people gave me support. My sister and the husband were driving behind. We don't know how they came in. And then we went to Kulipu. When we climbed out, I saw my daughter's bed not there. And I know the condition there. I've been in the emergency room when they were babies, you know. If the bed is off, it means there's something. And I had left, you know, when I was going, I left her. I told the girl sleeping next, a young lady, a girl, not even up to 15, about 10, 12, say, oh, please watch her for me.
How old was Akosia at this time?
Akosia was 17. So I said, watch her for me. I'll be back at 4. They say I can't be here, so I'll go home and come back. When the bed was not there, I said, where is she? She said, she just turned her hands this way. Then I knew I understood. I started screaming, and they took me into one of the. And my friend was saying, no, don't worry, baby, they've taken her to a place to give her the oxygen again. I was there, help me. How can I take this? Then suddenly, I heard my friend screaming too. I said, wow, she's gone.
She's gone. So you just heard Akosia's story, and that's what inspired the creation of this advocacy group towards creating awareness on sickle cell. You may hear Akosia's story and not appreciate it if you are someone who's not been close to that situation before. But Kweku is here. How old was Kweku at the time?
He was 16, getting to 17. Okay. No, they are close, 16, about 17.
Yeah, but you were 1 year up. So that was your only sister.
Yes.
What was it like for you knowing that you also have sickle cell?
Oh, sickle cell. I found out sickle cell was a big deal when I was about 7. Okay. My folks were arguing, and I was like, what is it? My dad was like, he can't do the relationship anymore. He can't do the relationship anymore. So I was like, why you can't do the relationship? What does it mean? After some time, my mom moved out of the house.
So this caused a separation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, you see, and sorry to interject, I'll come back to you quickly, because you need to understand how enormous the work is. It's a lot of hard work taking care of children with sickle cell. So your parents separated because of that, and that's what for you made you realize that no, my condition is serious.
Oh, the pain will let you know the condition is serious. Yeah. The pain would alert you that there's something wrong with you. When I was small, my hands used to swell. Okay. Now it would hurt all day. When they're playing, you can't play. You know you are different, so walk around and you're not sure what is happening. Now, when they separated because of the disease, I was like, hey, this thing is a big deal. Like, Daddy, why can't you just forget about it? And then you grow up to find out that go through what you have gone through. You have kids now, God bless my wife. And then they get sick and you are like, this man neglected me because of these sicknesses. Me, myself, I was very hurt about how he neglected me. But your child gets sick once, your child gets sick twice, your child gets the third time. I'm like, well, this is going on for a very long time. And I see my life, it has gone on all my life. And I have kids, they get sick a bit, and I'm like, no, if they were getting sick like the way I am getting sick, I'll leave the girl.
Yeah.
Me, myself, I'll leave the girl.
You won't be able to handle it.
You won't be able to handle it. But when you are coming together, you are in love. When you are coming together as man and wife, you are in love. But you should care about what happens to the individuals you are going to bring into this world, the individuals that you are going to, your offspring, one should say.
Yeah.
You should care what happens to them, your kids. Most of the times, the guys will chicken out. I think my dad chickened out because
What's your relationship with him now?
He's gone.
Oh, sorry about that.
But I found out after he's gone that, no, I made a mistake. Because I was bored with the man.
You were angry.
I was angry at
that he left you.
Yes.
Okay. You were 16 when your sister passed away. Was there any point in your life after that you also thought you were going to leave?
Oh, it was at 7. It was in the argument. So you heard him saying that Uncle Awe the 16, 17.
Okay.
So when you hear those arguments and all your life, you know you are going to die at 16, 17, max 18. And 17, your sister is left. And now you're waiting. You're waiting to go.
Did that make you lose your drive to live? The knowledge that I could die at any time, or it rather spurred you on and rather motivated you to do something with your life?
Oh, you see, when you are young and you are still in school, there's really nothing you want to do. But when you finish school, when you pass 16, you pass 17, you pass 18, now you are done with uni, and you're like, you're still here. You got to do something. Charlie, you can't. But when you are doing uni, now you have to make the decision. Now my body is hurting, so I can't really work for somebody. This your space. Everybody will say the air conditioning should be on. I'll say, Charlie, let's switch it off. Because it will affect you. Because it is affecting you. And so you know that you can't work in the corporate setting.
The setting is not made with you in mind.
Yes. No. And so you decide, oh, what can I do? What can I do? At a point, my dad was like, oh, I should find some school and finish the uni. And I'm like, okay, I'll go and do Polytechnic. I'll go and do fashion design, textile.
Did you leave university at any point?
No, I did. I finished the SHS, and then I didn't really want to go to uni anymore. My dad was like, I should do uni. And so I was like, okay, then I'll do the Polytechnic. And so I go into the Polytechnic. Even to go into the Polytechnic, my mom is worried. I couldn't do boarding school.
Yeah.
So I did day in Shemu. I'm done with day school, SHS. I need to make the decision to
move out of the house. So because mommy was very protective of you because
she's lost one. You know it happened. They told you are gonna go, and you yourself, you know you might go. And so you are like, jolly, whatever can happen should happen.
Permit me to ask, if you don't mind sharing, how old you are now, and what you think is what, has kept you. Because like you say, and it's something you hear on the streets, right? People say, oh, sickle cell, they don't go beyond a certain age. Or my child, they are 20, 25. But you're here.
Yes.
I'm sure there are people who are watching who may have a child with a condition, or they have the condition themselves, and they are thinking to themselves, did you do anything? Did you do anything different? Is there something that we can also learn from you in order to, manage the situation?
Okay, early in life, I noticed that you can use your brain for everything. Your brain, if you tell your brain that you're going to go, you will go. You will die, literally. So you have to just psych yourself that I'll be here.
So it's a thing of faith and mental fortitude.
Yes, you decide you are going to be here. I don't know it will come, but we won't go. We won't go. We'll be here for a very long time. So you go into polytechnic, first time in a boarding setting, you notice, hey, this thing will be difficult too. And then you have to manage everything, where you are lying down, how your roommates are doing the room, what is happening, who are their friends, who are your friends, who is coming to the room at what time. Everything has to be managed. When you are learning, you can't learn in the evening. You just learn when you have to learn. And then people will be like, this guy, he's making noise. You go down right now. I'm like, well, we are here. We'll see who will go down. And so you try, but it will take you down over and over and over again. But you have to decide that you'll come back.
When was the last time you had a crisis?
Now, I'm having one. I'm having one now.
Okay, what are those?
Yesterday we did the program outside. It was raining, and then I was in the rain for a bit. So my knees and my legs, they are hurting right now. My left hand too is aching. And so you have to just decide that, there's pain in your body, but we are doing this.
So what do you do to manage the symptoms?
You just, you keep moving, you forget about it, you pay attention to what you're doing right now. You talk to the...
It's not something that you can take medication for.
You can get addicted if you decide to do painkillers.
because it's something that happens often.
Yes, and so you decide, I want a painkiller, it will knock it off. But it will knock it off for some time, and then it will come back.
So for you, life is constant pain?
Yes.
Wow.
Every day, not some of the times. Every day. When you tell people, they are like, he's so exaggerating. It's fine. It's in my body. It's fine. Since I was a child, I've been asking that God put it on my fingertips so that I'll touch you and it will come.
So that people can feel what you're feeling. Interesting. But what do you do now, and how does it affect your job? Okay,
so I finished the Polytechnic. I did events. Actually, there was one semester of events management in fashion design and textile studies in Kumasi Polytechnic. So I started doing events. Now I run the Ghana Higher Education Fair. I've created a platform where the higher education institutions meet senior high schools. So I show them to the senior high schools. I think that we have a short period of time we will live in this world. So we really need to be impactful. I think the most time we waste is between senior high school to uni. And so I hope that our kids will make the decisions very quickly and start higher education and start their work life. Do something for this country that we love. And so I've been doing that for the past 16 years. It's very difficult to put it back together, but I think we've done a lot over the years. We've done a lot over the years. So I do Ghana Education Fair, and then I make a bit, and then I sponsor my mom doing this, and then I follow her around. It's been difficult this year because it hasn't been difficult. It's been successful this year because multimedia has smiled. Multimedia has been so gracious to us. We have been helped greatly, telling people that this is a problem. Let us fix it. It's just about everybody knowing. Tell your child, tell your friend, tell everybody to know their sickle cell status. If it's not in you, you are AA, you are fine. But there's 23% of people who are AS. They come together, and the S from the father, the S from the mother goes into the child. And then the child will suffer till. Yeah.
And you made a statement about when you're in love, how you usually lose your senses because you're madly in love. But when you start doing the hospital trips, and unfortunately for Charlotte, when your husband leaves, and you have to now handle the burden alone. That's when you realize that, okay, it wasn't love after all. So this morning we are preaching. All you just need to do is walk into a health facility, right, and ask that you're coming to check your sickling status. Yes. They will help you. They'll give you advice. They'll counsel you as well. I know now churches are doing well, yes. Especially for people who want to marry. Their churches insist that you know your sickling status. They won't stop you from marrying, though. They would advise and caution you. So, Kweku, what was it for you looking for love? Were you, the first thing is, please, AA or not, before I go deeper into this. I don't want my heart to be committed, and then, what was it like for you looking for love?
Oh, it's difficult. I mean, if you have the information that about somebody who is sickle celled, you meet your daughter brings somebody into the house and he's like, oh, or SSO. The dad is like, no, I don't want this. I don't want this in my family.
There's a lot of stigma.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so family after family, they won't let me in.
You had that encounter?
Encounters.
Oh, Lord.
I'm sorry, but it's difficult. Very difficult. And people will say that, oh, they are stronger than you, but it's somehow we are sharp. We are very brilliant. Literally, we are very, very clever.
Nature has a way of compensating. You get it? It's interesting. There's a lady I know who has a hearing problem. I mean, you're literally in her face, she can't hear you, but she can smell food burning before it gets burnt. I don't know if you get what I mean.
That's great.
Her sense of smell compensates for the loss of her hearing. Yeah. So I get what you mean about people. But how did you succeed at love? Because you said you have children.
Yes.
You sent some shout outs to your wife.
Okay, so to my wife, Loretta, thank you very much. I'm grateful for everything you've done for me and with me. I met her. I saw her and I was like, nah, this is a nice girl. I want this girl. So I waited for 7 years. Yes, just observing her, hoping.
7 years! Oh, wow.
Hoping that I can pop the question. And then she okays my decision.
Her family was accepting?
Yes.
And she's AA?
Yes.
Would you have been disappointed if she was otherwise?
Ooh.
If she was AS?
Yes, I would have been disappointed.
And you wouldn't have gone in at all?
I didn't commit. I didn't even go the love direction I want to. No. I just go like, Charlie, I'm sickle cell. Have you tested your status? He said, yeah, I know I'm AA. I'm like, sweet.
Smart guy.
So now let's start this.
Okay.
And then you go step by step until she says yes.
Right.
Yeah, but it has to be planned out. It has to be orchestrated.
Right. It's important. So let me wrap up with you. What has it been like for you working, trying to get people to understand? And you know, the statistics you shared, very important. This can be eradicated. Thankfully, it's scientific. So if we decide that we aren't going to marry AS, which will create that probability of having an SS, eventually we would realize that we are having healthier children without sickles. So it's a thing of maths, it's a thing of science. And so I'd like for you to share with me the work you've been doing in your advocacy. What gives you joy as you do this work?
Yes, for all the time we've been in this job, you know, our first thing was to make sure that those who were sick, those who had a sickle cell condition, mothers who had them and they didn't know what to do, we helped them.
Great.
So we came together as a team in Tema, trying to bring all the mothers or parents together, and then we call doctors, call dietitians, and you know, we try to empower them to be able to take them, giving them the hope that these children can live. There's nowhere in the Bible they've said one would die before age 70. So you just depend also on God and do your part as a mother, giving him, caring for him or her the way it should go. And then, you know, making sure whenever he's in crisis, we don't go on the counter to buy medicine. Take him to the health facility.
Right.
And then you get it. After that, after getting a lot of people together in Tema, we decided to go and into fortunately we were blessed to have a doctor in town, Dr. Kaiko, in town, Kaiko Clinic Hospital. And he allowed us in to have a place where we meet. And then finally he gave us a place to run a clinic. He himself asked a friend, the late Professor Ankrabedu, and may his soul rest in peace. He came every week to see our people.
Oh, wow.
Yes, in Kaiko, free, not charging us anything. Dr. Kaiko Hospital too, Dr. Kaiko didn't charge us anything. We were there. And we realized there was some who couldn't come to the private hospitals. So we went to General Hospital and had a meeting with the management, the director and his team, her team. She was a lady, Charity. And then they agreed that we have a clinic there. So we were to set up a clinic there. One of the first, when you entered General Hospital, the first consulting.
Tema General Hospital.
Yes, General Hospital. The first door, the clinic in the left, or the first consulting room was given to us. Then we had to train doctors. Can we do it? We asked Kolebu, the experts, to come to Tema. We wrote to the hospitals, both public and private, asking the doctors that we're going to have a program on sickle cell, that they in touch. We were saying they should just come and share ideas. And then they were there, the experts, one in a child, a gynae, one from a dermatology, just all the people who would, yes, the adults. We have people, doctors who are okay, experts in looking after the adults, children, like
and then
we have the children's one, and then we had Dr. Kaiko and others who came. We had about 5 doctors, and they came and did a very good program for them one afternoon. After that, they realized, they need to always go ahead to do something. And then those in town, those in the General Hospital took care of the clinic. And I have to thank God that the clinic has saved a lot of lives.
And it's been running till now.
Now. And the doctors there confess, and that is where we refer our clients to. Most of the time, we are in this part of it. So if even some call us from Accra, say, if you can come there, we know, we are so sure of the people, expert care there. And they've done a lot for it. We are very grateful.
I am so happy you channeled your pain into something that benefits a lot of people. And I'm sure there's somebody who's thinking, how do I contact you? If there are people who are willing to even support your work, people who are even willing to partner, how do they contact your group, and what numbers are there to call?
Yes.
Okay, should I take?
Yeah, quickly, yeah.
You can call us on 024 666 0012 or 0244 655 331.
Can you go over it again?
Okay, let me go over it. 024 666 0012 or 0244 655 331.
Okay.
We want to come together as the sickle cell group. There are several small people doing everything around. So we want to come together as a group. Recently, after the death of Hene Frimpong, there was an approval for sickle cell to be put on the health insurance. However, most of the drugs, even though it's on health insurance, they're not.
And sorry, who is on Hene Frimpong?
Sorry. It's Professor Hene Frimpong.
Okay.
He's a hematologist specialist from the US.
He's the one mom referenced?
No.
Okay, that's a different one.
This is a different one. Okay. But he was in Philadelphia. He brought the testing for newborn screening. He brought the idea to test newborn screening so that the sickle cell people do not die at an early age.
Young, because we don't know.
We don't know. And so if you test and you do antibiotics, it's likely we can manage the situation. I think it's by his work that has made most of the sickle cell people now grow up to a certain age. We're grateful for God for giving us his life. Now, after his death, God called him, at his funeral, the vice president promised that he'll put us on health insurance because basically we go in and out of the hospital a whole lot of times.
It's very often.
Yes, but some of the drugs as well are not supplied by the health insurance system. So we need to come together as a group and see how we can help ourselves, how we can come together. So we are hoping that the other groups should contact us. Let us all sit down and then let's push an agenda so that we reduce the numbers. Our aim is to reduce the numbers. People shouldn't come together. That's why we are focused on premarital counseling.
It's
so that,
important.
So that everybody knows their status and then they don't give it to their children. And then when you give it to your children, it will burn a hole in your pocket. And so we are telling people that for self-preservation, they should just know their status before they fall in love.
Okay. And it will also drain you emotionally. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, but we've run out of time. And I'm grateful to you for joining me to share your story. Yes. And please do contact Kweku Kwatingeboa in Charlotte. So Charlotte is founder and CEO of the Sickle Cell Condition Awareness. And this was after she lost her own daughter to the condition. And that's why she's pushing so hard for you to check your sickling status before you get married is important. And Kweku Kwatingeboa, his son, is a sickle cell patient who's been sharing his story with us, a story of survival, a story of perseverance. He says it's all up here. He's fighting it in his head, but he doesn't want your child to go through what he's going through. He's actually in a crisis now, but he's enduring it. So please, let's pay attention. If you missed any part of the conversation, please, you can get onto YouTube. Important information we've been sharing. But that'll be all for this edition of the AM show.